This week's episode is sponsored by Helio Gas Detection.
Everybody, this is Richie from the Metal Cell podcast. I'm delighted to welcome Psykosis to the show. You've been on it a few times, I'd say, at this stage, lads. No need for favoritism and stuff, but we're diving head first into the pit, and we're going to be talking about their incredible new album, Mind Games. We're going to do track by track. There's no need for me to go into the background of the band. You should know your fucking shit about Psykosis at this stage. So from face-melting solos to politically charged rage, this album hits fast, hits hard, and doesn't let up. So buckle up, it's time to play some Mind Games. I wrote all that by myself, like, that was quite good. But yeah, so let's start now just to give people a time reference, because we are talking the day after your headline and launch gig in Fibbers. No, sorry, the Grand Social. You went to Fibbers on the piss afterwards, is it? Or something like that. So, out of 10, lads, what would you give the gig itself, like?
20.
20, class.
That's literally what I was going to say.
The ultimate launch show, like?
It was just fucking absolutely incredible, like, you know. Couldn't actually wish for anything more out of it, you know. The crowd were so... first of all, a deadly crowd, and it was just so responsive, you know what I mean? You know, when you're talking to the crowd and stuff like that, everybody's listening, everybody's doing what you're saying and all, and it was just absolutely class. Every band played class as well.
Yeah, great lineup as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was nice to get Acid Age down.
Yeah, well, they're doing really well, like, you know what I mean? And the new album is class, but every single time we've played with them recently, they're just getting better and better, man. And they're so unique in their sound. Like, they played a song last night and they had a harmonica in it, and it's just everybody just, like, even Jude said it to me. He goes, the second the harmonica comes out, everybody has their phones out, and the second it comes out, or no, is it the opposite way around? Everybody's just staring. The second the harmonica comes out, everybody gets their phones out. There's like, so it's fucking cool. Like, you know, it's real unique. It's not really like anything else I've heard recently, but yeah, it's deadly.
Yeah, I saw him in the Siege, and the harmonica came out as well. Yeah, it was fucking tense. Yeah,
who the fuck else does that shit, you know?
I know. Liam, did you enjoy their last album, the newest one?
The Perilous Composer album?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was class. I've listened to it a few times leading up to the gig as well, so I kind of know some of the songs when they were playing. Because the last couple of times we played with them, it was before the album came out.
Okay.
So this time it was good to be able to hear the songs live and know them as well from listening to them beforehand. Like.
Yeah, and fun fact also, you both have the art on your
by the same guy.
Albums by the same guy. That's pretty fucking cool.
It's it's weird because we didn't talk to each other about the artwork at all.
No way.
Yeah. So
it's kind of obituary Sepultura vibe, like, but
it's so weird because I was talking to Jude up in Belfast, and we had another artist who was like, we wanted to do something, and we were showing each other. And what I was doing, I was just going on Instagram and just like looking for like dark art or whatever like that, you know, to find like a kind of vibe. And I found this guy, and then just after ours was done, realized that the two were off the same artist. So like a 1 in a million, like, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, it's an incredible piece of art. Both of them are absolutely incredible. Tom, do you know, even just settling on a piece of artwork is always a hard one, isn't it, for all of you to agree and stuff? But looking at that one, I think it was fairly easy for you, was it?
Yeah, I think the second we saw it, we all kind of unanimously were like, yeah, that's the one. That is definitely the one. Yeah, no, we're really, we're happy. We're so happy with it, and the way the album turned out, not just like visually, but sonically as well. Like the way the mix is, and the way the songs flow and all of that. Yeah, we're really happy with it. And Mick from Track Mix did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Bow
down to the master, man.
That guy is, I don't know, he's a wizard or a magician or something, man. He knows what he's doing. He definitely knows what he's doing. So, and I would urge any band starting up in Dublin now or in Ireland in general, if they want to go in and do like a demo or a single, go to Mick. Give him the work. Just do it. He is unbelievable. Yeah. And especially as well as that, like, I mean, he was sending us mixes when we weren't even asking him to send us mixes. And Aidan was kind of making the point that, like, if it's something he believes in, he'll constantly work on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're But as far as the artwork goes, anyway, just amazing.
Grant, like the artwork, and I know there's a team behind the album itself, maybe for 2 or 3 songs for sure, definitely. Yeah. Artwork, was that commissioned, or was that something that he had initially and then you just went, holy shit, this is some coincidence? No,
I got onto him, and he was basically like, what are you looking for? And
okay,
I was like, I basically told him each thing that I wanted. I gave him the lyrics to Mind Games. And then he's like, all right, give me like a week or something like that, and literally spat that out. And I was just like, fucking hell, that is the nail on the head. I was like, holy shit. Because we were working with other artists, and I gave them the lyrics, and I gave them like the kind of synopsis of what each song was about and stuff. And they're kind of throwing shite back at us, like what the fuck is this? Like kind of weird, like what would you say? Like concept art? No, not concept art. Like kind of fucking, I don't know, weird artsy shit, like of a human like standing like in the corner, and then there's like a clock, a fucking
okay.
Like Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali shit. I was like,
yeah.
Here, oh dude, I'll show you sometime.
Yeah. Salvador Dali has his moments as well. Come on now.
Yeah, he knows.
To be fair, but like I can understand what you're saying though. When you look at what's behind you there, man, it's fucking bananas what he's come up with. I just, it's a different level of thinking. To be fair, like the thought process that goes on in an artist's mind has to be recognized, and I always give a credit on the podcast. And fuck AI and this bullshit that even Dark Angel, my favorite fucking trash band, came out with this AI bollocks.
Yeah. It's just a cheap fucking Give it to the artist, absolutely, because it's way better than anything AI can do.
Yeah, it is, because you can work with them, and Jesus, like for that, that's one of the album. Not only is it actually my favorite artwork of the year, it's also this is also my favorite album of the year. With all respect to what's been released beforehand, my God, lads, you fucking knocked it out of the park. Like it really is incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, and look, everybody knows me anyway. Thrash is my favorite fucking type of music, and just I've always been rooting for you to come out with fucking something unforgettable. And wow, you certainly knocked me on my ass with this. So
thanks, man.
Big congratulations on that. So if you don't mind, we'll go into some of the tracks and we'll just talk through them just for people, just to get them a better understanding, or maybe just the thinking behind it. So we'll start off with the opening track, Insanitizes, one of my favorite tracks on the album. What an opener. So what we'll do is we'll play a segment of it. And this is so what I did was I picked mainly my favorite parts of each song, or there's always something significant to talk about in what I've picked as well. So you'll be interested to see what I picked out for this section anyway. So here we go. what an opening track. I remember when you sent me the album, unfortunately, I put it on the gym in the treadmill and I fucking pulled the hamstring immediately. So it wasn't a good idea to fucking try that on a treadmill. But
You told me you got a speeding ticket.
oh yeah, that was another fucking. That's two things actually. Yeah, fuck's sake.
Put a warning on that.
Yeah, so there you go. You've two warnings there, lads. So opening track, it's a fucking face melter, and it's a perfect one when you look through all of them. Insanitize sets the tone for it. So it's obviously there wasn't much debate in relation to that one starting it off, was there?
No, like that's sure. That's the song that we start off our sets with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like it has that sort of energy, power, or whatever. Like gets to get people moving. So we're like, fuck it, we'll throw it at the start.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been opening our set with that song for a long time. For a long time. And I guess that song kind of came together almost like telepathically. It was weird how quick. Well, I remember that time when me and you were kind of jamming that song. It came together so quick. Like it was like one or two jams, and then we literally had it, like, and then it was done. And I guess it was like a bunch of riffs that I think Grant had for like separate songs, and we were like, you know what, fuck it, we'll just jam them all into one song,
Okay.
and then see what happens, and then boom, insanitized.
The solo work on that track, Grant. Talk me through it.
The solo work, like, well, it's like when we were writing it, the way they went with the lyrics was like the theme of it would be, like Don't Fear the Reaper. I know it kind of doesn't sound anything like Don't Fear the Reaper, but in it has, you know, that part in the middle where, it's like the Grim Reaper.
Oh yeah.
And then it kind of comes back around through it. So it's like that. It's sort of like an essence of that, but it's like someone battling with their thoughts and like institutionalized. I know how cliche it is for a thrash band to talk about mental asylums and stuff like that, but yeah, basically it's like someone with just like a minor thing, you know, like in the 70s and stuff, people were just locked up because they had like ADHD or whatever like that. So it goes through that process through the first two verses, and then it's a guy constantly being like, I'm not insane, like that sort of shit. And then the solo is like a battle between himself and insanity.
Okay, cool.
You know, it's going back and forth. That's what the trading of solos is. And then the last part is kind of him just kind of, you know, accepting it. And, you know, like if we were ever to do a music video for it, that would be the basis. But yeah, that's kind of the top wrestles of it.
Yeah. And do yourself and Aidan share solos or?
Yeah.
I think you do.
Sorry?
I think you do. You trade solos in that song, right?
Yeah, we tried solos in it, yeah.
Class. And Liam, you know, approaching a song like that on the bass, are you just mainly following the rhythm on that one?
Yeah, I'm staying pretty tight to what Aiden and Grant are playing, and then kind of following Tom's drums as well. Where like when they're playing open chords, they'll kind of keep the bass going with the double kicks and stuff like that. But it's fairly tight knit with the guitars as well.
Yeah.
Similar enough, like.
Yeah, so on to the second track, Boiling Point. Like there's, you know, that was one thing, you know, when you gave to me as well, I was just kind of going, you know, after listening to 3 or 4 songs, I was just going, I wonder what their logic is now. Are they going to fucking slow it down, you know? And you're caught in two minds as a punter and as a listener, kind of going, wonder if they just kept it fucking going, the intensity right through, you know? And me, you did, you know, like Exodus would say, no fucking ballads, man, just fucking keep it going, you know? Yeah. And even the title, Boiling Point, you know, and okay, so we have our cliches in the thrash scene as well, you know, we have to have something about kind of mental illness or something. And also a classic standout one is a spoken word before a song. There's plenty of lyrics that kind of go along with spoken word. And man, great fucking intro for that. Where did you pull that out of?
So that was actually Liam's idea.
Well done, Liam.
Yeah, that was, I found that on like doom scrolling on Instagram or YouTube Shorts or something like that a couple of days before we went in the studio. I found that and then just said it to the lads in the studio, like, that sounds
Holy
pretty cool.
shit, was that close to
the
the studio? Oh.
Yeah, I think it was like the week beforehand, like leading up to it, a couple of days beforehand, just doom scrolling, fucking doing nothing.
And what spot? Where'd you find it, or what is it in relation to? Her?
I don't know. It's some like speech from like the 60s or something like that that was put up on a broadcast or something like
Is
that.
it Paul Harvey and it's like an old spoken word thing from like the 60s or the 50s, like a radio broadcast or something like that.
Yeah.
And I guess Paul Harvey was like an old school like radio presenter, and he did this whole spiel about if I were the devil, I'd do this and and it was kind of like a whole like prophecy of like what would come down the line in the next 50 years and 60 years, which a lot of that stuff has kind of come true.
Everything's
Oh yeah. Like even if you play Metal Gear Solid 2, like a lot of that stuff has come true. Like what Hideo Kojima, like
Jesus Christ. God, I used to love that game.
But yeah, that was Liam. I remember you showing that to us in track mix when we were recording. When we were recording Boiling Point, and I remember you were like, "Oh yeah, check this out. This might be cool to like throw it in as like an intro to the track," and we were all like, "Oh my god, that's fucking genius!" Like,
yeah.
But the thing was, it's like 5 minutes long or even longer, but we were like, we can't put it in for 5 minutes.
Yeah, we can't.
There's so many good parts that he says on it, but we're like, okay, we have to fit it down into, what is it, 30 seconds or a minute or something like that?
Yeah, it was like, I think 30 seconds or 20 seconds or something like that.
Yeah. So it was hard to find a point on it, but the one about the media and everything like that, I was like, yeah, that's
so fucking relevant. Yeah.
We found like the best segment of it, and the way it's like, I mean, the way it's mixed into on the album, like it was me playing it through my phone, and Mick handed me a mic, and I put the mic up to my phone, and he captured it like that way.
Ooh,
yeah,
class.
So it kind of gets that grainy kind of like lo-fi kind of like feel to it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll give it a spin, and we'll talk about the actual song then.
Right.
I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames.
Fuck yeah, man. The driving drums on that, Tom, you know, the sound right through, you know, has been incredible for this album. Had you much work with Mick on those drums? Like, did you go in there with a concrete idea through rehearsals? And was
I think the song was pretty. That song was pretty solidified by the time I'd gone in. I mean, we'd been playing it for so long at that point as well. So by the time I went in to record that song, I had like a fairly like solid idea of like what I wanted to do with the drums. in terms of fills and stuff like that. Obviously, fills are, every take is going to be different, but yeah, by and large, the song was pretty much like locked in at that point. So it was at that point, it was kind of all about getting like a good take, and then for any edits I needed or drop ins, like if I'd have miffed a fill here or there, or like mishit a cymbal or a snare hit or whatever it was, then he could do drop ins and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really like, that's probably like my favorite song to play on the album. It's so much fun. I love playing that song.
Yeah,
because I can really live I can really lay into it as well. Like I can hit hard on that song and not like gas myself. So I'm kind of like out of energy for like the next like 4 songs or whatever. So it's always a fun one to play for sure. Yeah.
Lyrics, Grant, on that, and style of singing. Okay, but so there's a political team going behind it, obviously. But I have no access to lyrics, and that's one thing I'll ask you about as well. Maybe later, just about that. There's nothing there on Bandcamp for the album.
It's hard. It's actually hard to put up lyrics online, believe it or not. You have to fucking jump through so many hoops, and I don't know. It's stupid, but I'm working on it anyway. The lyrics to that song, it's just fucking like, it's just. It's written around people not being treated with like respect and stuff in not just this country, any country by their governments. They're just, basically the governments are doing kind of what they want, and it's pushing people to that boiling point where everybody is gonna tip off, and you can see it, so yeah.
Just the thing.
It reflects it.
He's at the name.
Reflects it.
But yeah, no, just like the lyrics are cool. Like if you try to listen to them, that was the one thing that I wanted to have out, like on the day. And I'm even getting emails being like, "Oh, I'm writing up a blog. Can I get your lyrics and all?" And I'm like, I can't. I'll just email them to you, like But yeah, no, they're super fun to play. And even when we're playing this song, before we play it at a gig, I'd say something like, fucking, this goes out to the Irish government, fuck those pieces of shit, or fuck Fianna Fáil or whatever.
I remember it in Fred's.
Yeah, and everybody just go, yeah. It's like, you can just see, like, you know what I mean? Everybody's feeling it.
Yeah, everybody's feeling it. Yeah.
But the song is just, let out some frustration, you know what I mean, and have a good time, and yeah. An homage to hating the fucking Dukes.
And talk to me there, Liam, about the tempo again of that song. It's full on, man. Riding in on the bass with that.
Yeah, that's a fucking intense one to play along to. Like most of the time when it's like second in the set, and like Sanitize is a good warm up for it, but like the arm just be burning with that one. And we don't really take a break in between them either, so like they always lead into each other.
Yeah,
but they're perfect to set the tone for the gig. Like every time the crowd's kind of ready to go by the end of them too.
Yeah. What basses did you bring into the studio, or were you happy to use one of Mick's, maybe the Warwick or something like that, the legendary Warwick that's come up on the show a few times?
I use the Warwick, yeah. Anytime I go into Mick, I bring all my gear in and it just sits in the corner and I end up using his stuff. But he always knows his stuff. Like he always has it perfect. Like he'll have the right amp for the right style of music and the right kind of instrument, and he's always had them tuned perfectly for you to set up. So you might as well go and use what he has there.
That's brilliant.
He weirdly always has everybody kind of dialed in before we even turn up. So there's very little kind of like faffing around that we have to do with like guitars or tones or whatever. He has a pretty decent idea of like what the band wants.
Yeah. Let me put it to you this way. So how long are you playing the majority of these songs live?
God damn. How long we've been playing? I mean, we've been playing in Sanitized since 2018, 2019.
Okay.
I think.
And
Boiling Point was That was when we first played it in Limerick. That was the first time when you heard it with Evil, I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh fuck yeah, that's right. Yeah.
No, we did it. We did a downstairs gig with Unmaker and Crossfire, and we played Boiling Point before it was
we didn't even have a name for it, so we were like,
Declan Moylan to give him the shout out. You were like fucking. My older brother was there, Richie, and Grant was like, "All right, we don't have a name for this song yet. What are we gonna call it?" And my older brother Declan was like, "Kick it in the dick." And Grant was like, "All right, this next song is called "Kick It in the Dick," I guess." He's like,
brilliant, fucking hell. Yeah, so that my point is that for bands that are listening and watching this, and it has come up before, especially with Grey Stag, that they love testing. They had the benefit of testing their latest EP out on an audience, whereas when they were in the middle of fucking COVID, them horrible times, they couldn't test out any songs on a live audience. So
yeah, sure.
So that's my point with G, like with say the likes of Insanitized, Boiling Point and Hard Reset. A lot of them are newer songs. We'll get to the older ones later on in the album. But like the benefit of playing those live, lads, as for how many years, 2 or 3 years maybe?
Yeah.
Something
like that. Yeah.
I mean, even like Insanitized and Hard Reset, we've been playing. Like Insanitized, Toss to the Dogs, Hard Reset, we've been playing since I want to say like 2018.
Yeah,
I mean, like the newer ones on the album would be like Boiling Point, Hive Mind, like they would be like, and Mind Games, and obviously the title track as well. They'd be like, they're the 3 new songs, and we've been playing those songs like a year maybe 2.
Yes. So then my point is, were they harder to go into the studio with than, we'll say, the older ones? Probably for the lads more so, but as a drummer, Tom, was there?
No, I don't think so, because like they were a lot fresher.
Okay.
They were a lot fresher, and then like the funny thing with the album is like I had to re-record the 5 other tracks. So I had to re-record Insanitized, Hard Reset, Mutant Mass, General Waste, and Toss to the Dogs. Yeah. And I had to re-record those songs to guitars that were 4 years old. Okay. So that was a bit of a struggle, but luckily it worked out for the better. So that's
interesting.
It sounds good now, but I do have versions. Like I'm pretty sure. I'll have to search for them, but I have versions of those songs with drums from like 4 years ago.
Okay.
Demos. But yeah, but they were master tracks.
Oh,
they were they were master tracks. And then when we went into this back in the track mix, and we were talking about like finishing the album, we did the 3 new songs. So we did Hive Mind, Boiling Point, and Mind Games, and the mix we were getting from the 3 new songs, we preferred that mix.
Okay.
So we turned around to Mick and we were like, "Hey man, can you get the 5 old songs to match the 3 new ones?" And he was like, "Well, you'll have to come back in and re-record the drums so I can edit them again and like get them tight and get them to sound the same." So I was like, okay, if it has to be done, it has to be done. So whatever. So I had to go back in. Look at the guitars. We were lucky because like they were DI'd, so like he could reamp the guitars and make them sound consistent throughout the album. But for drums, you can't really do that. So you have to get it from the start and get the actual performance done again. Yeah. But
that's
luckily it sounded exactly how we wanted it to turn out. So as far as like going into the studio to do the 3 new songs, I mean, we were pretty well rehearsed at that point. I knew what I was doing. Like the song, again, they were set in stone, so there was very little kind of like, not like wiggle room, but
there was much variation in them. Like,
yeah, exactly. They were pretty much like, it was like 4 or 5 takes for each song, and then they were done, and that was it.
And Grant, you and Aidan, had you to change much in relation to solos with any of those, or did you get bogged down in one in particular or anything like that? No.
No, not really. It kind of flowed fairly well, like, you know. We didn't. I don't think we even doubled up on the guitars or anything like that. Like most bands would double up on guitars and, you know,
or quad track.
Sorry,
Or quad track.
or quad track or whatever like that. But we did the track, and Mick was just like, "That sounds full. Like, you know, there's no need." And we're like, "All right, cool." So like, it's come like the album itself. It kind of like you've seen us play before, so it kind of has that, you know, rawness to it. Yeah,
Yes.
kind of like a live sort of feeling of it.
100%. Yeah.
Kind of raw. It's not like it is played to a click and everything like that, but it still has that like gritty fucking live sort of feeling to it or whatever like that. So yeah, it flowed fairly well. We weren't bogged down. Had a lot of fun, even for when we were doing that toss to the dog solo. All the wah in it. Like I'd never use a wah. Like, I never use a wah, but he was like, "Try the wah." I was like, "All right." And, I did. I think I did 1 or 2 takes, and then he was like, "That's perfect. Just keep that." And it's just mad. It's just a mad solo. Like,
Why do I always think of that meme with fucking Kirk Hammett with 2 fucking wahs strapped to his feet instead of fucking shoes?
Oh yeah.
Okay, on to Hard Reset, another fucking favorite of mine. Brilliant song. I love that little climb up out of the solo to get back into the rhythm section there. Just that.
What the
Yeah. You blink, you miss it, but that's why it's there for me. Just to get you in. How did that come out? About?
That's a mistake. Yeah. So remember when we were meant to come out with that solo section, and it was meant to go back into but I kept it going. I was like, and we jammed it out in practice one day, and we thought it sounded really cool, so we kept it in as the mistake. So yeah, it's kind of a mistake that kind of worked.
Happy little mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
Outrageous solo again, and that. Is there any Easter eggs that fans should listen out for right through the album? Is there
Easter eggs as in how do you mean?
Just funny things that you know.
Well, it's written about like I like you drive to work or whatever like that every day, and you know you'd be looking out the window and you drive past about fucking 20 bus stops and everybody would just be glued to their phones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this one is kind of written about how everybody's just so dependent on technology and shit like that, you know? And it's called Hard Reset because, you know, just hitting a big red button and fucking starting again. Civilization. But yeah, and it's also written about drugs and stuff as well in the chorus. You know, your brain is coming out your nose. Young eyes plastered to the TV screen, injecting chemicals, break down society. Yeah, so Yeah, it's fun. It's about hating the human race.
Yeah. And the gang vocals, Liam, are you a fan of them?
No, I don't really participate in them. I'm fucking terrible at doing it and playing at the same time. So like the lads have been pushing me to do it since I started playing with them, but I just can't.
We need to start giving Liam like a mic as an option, just to have it there
A
if he
prop.
wants to, if he's comfortable doing it. If on the night, if the mood strikes him, he can fucking jump in and do it.
There's no one there for Aiden. He would be all over the place, so he'll be popping over
Yeah,
my side.
Aiden is not afraid to fucking talk shit at all. Like,
Yeah, we better salute him since he never showed up tonight. But
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, the lead work between yourself and Aiden, especially live, Grant, is fucking great to watch, man. It's actually comes across as actually really fun, not intense or anything like that. It's just really fucking fun, casual. Even though it's far from fucking casual, because the technical side of it is just fucking crazy. But like, it's just that swagger you have and the way it works together. I mean, what a great addition he has been to the band, and big shout outs obviously to Adam and the previous members as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, and beforehand you can see, like, so if you listen to the album in a chronological order of Mutant Mass, General Waste, Insanitized, Toss to the Dogs, Hard Reset, Mind Games, and Hive Mind. If you listen to it like that way, okay, it's coming from the original members. Like the original members wrote Mutant Mass and General Waste, so it's coming out of the party era thrash sort of into the more serious. And then even the new song that we have, we played one last night, the brand new one. You can hear more melodies and stuff coming into it, but they're not the kind of like lame melodies. It's like, if Slayer had a melody, this would be it, you know what I mean? Or like Testament, if Testament had a melody. But you can just see how it's just progressing into like not more technical, but still keeping that same sort of catchy choruses, fun sort of vibes off, it's just a fun sort of thing to do. And last night kind of concreted that in, like everybody just had such a fun time. It was an absolute blast. Like I'm crowd surfed to the bar at the end.
Oh, I forgot about that actually. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So like as a wingman, Aiden, happy days, Grant.
Yeah, loving it. And he's even putting in, like dive bombs and stuff. You're when you go like, do you ever listen to Cavalier Conspiracy whenever they play like shows and all? Or even Power Trip in between songs and all. There's just like he's just tearing out of the whammy bar and just like it just sounds class. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What my band's made. One whammy.
Brilliant. Okay, so track 4, Toss to the Dogs. We all know about this one. We'll give it a blast. I mean, I have the T-shirt and all. Fucking class T-shirt, actually.
I think you played it first. You were the first one to play this online, weren't you?
I know. I remember you giving it to me. Yeah, I think it was an exclusive. Yeah.
The Sacred Reich show.
Fucking hell! You serious?
The Sacred Reich gig when me and Adam Tracy sat right here burning CDs the night before the Sacred Reich gig, and then we went to Fibbers after we finished burning all the CDs. Me and Adam were like, all right, do you want to go to Fibbers for a few points? We were like, yeah, grand. Buzzed out. We met them in Fibbers the night before the fucking gig.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yes. And that drum cam I think is still, or that live footage is I think still up on YouTube internet land somewhere. But yeah. That was when Toss to the Dogs made it out into the wild for the first time. And I remember you sharing it.
Yeah, that's mental. What is it with fucking drummers and memories, Liam? Like, it's fucking freaky, isn't it?
This lad is like an encyclopedia of metal, man.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like Confi, a fucking hero in error as well, man. He's like fucking on point with memory. It's just like he shames the rest of the lads, But,
yeah.
Heads down to Toss to the Dogs. Right, here we go. Man, that's grown into a firm fan favorite, hasn't it, lads?
Pretty good.
It's weird hearing people like, all the reception we've gotten from the album. It's been weird hearing people say that the different songs are their favorite album, or different songs are their favorite song. Anytime I hear someone say that "Toss of the Dogs" is their favorite song, I'm like, what? Why? Why?
I tell you why, because a lot of the time, when that song came out, there was fucking I'd say people were just desperate for you to release something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, more than
we
likely,
all knew how
yeah.
good you were, but we had fucking nothing out from you, and I think that's why that song is as popular as it is,
Yeah, and that's the first song that the lads wrote with me in the band.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember when you lads brought me to Weatherspoons and was it Dunleary?
Yeah.
That time, and then you showed me like the video of you like playing. I think I still have it in our Facebook like chat, like the conversation. If I scroll all the way in media, I'll find the original video that you sent me, and it was like Grant had put on like on YouTube 180 BPM thrash metal drums. And it was him like with the song in the background looping, and then just playing the riff, and I was like, okay. And then that was the first song I wrote with Psykosis.
Oh,
180. That's too slow, man.
What?
180 is too slow.
Oh, 180 is way too slow. Yeah.
It's not that low anyway.
Yeah.
and even
it's a fun,
like
it's a fun song.
as I said, the artwork and all for that was fucking class, man.
Oh yeah. That
when
t-shirt
did that come out? Was that 2019, 20?
Yeah, 2019.
It's crazy.
I feel happy for people who got the white t-shirt, because the white t-shirt was popping, man. The white t-shirt with the fucking pink logo. Oh, it looks so sick. Yeah, it looks so fucking sick.
Actually,
like white t-shirt with the pink logo, unreal.
Yeah, I have it. I have it fucking downstairs. It's one of the few fucking ones that are just put aside and not worn regularly in case they fucking wear out. Like
way better than the black t-shirt.
Even a guy last night, a lad called Mark, comes up to me and he's wearing the white t-shirt and he goes, "You need to get more of these t-shirts in, man. You need to get more."
Yeah.
Why? Same
We
thing,
have that's the cool thing. Like we have all of our artwork that we've ever gotten like in like PNG format, so we can literally do anything we want as far as like t-shirt designs and art and whatever else. We have everything. So it's like,
and the new merch, the Mind Games merch that we literally got. Yes, we got it on Thursday, right? And so like, I haven't put it up online yet. I think it's going up either today or tomorrow. And sold it at the thing, and it sold out before Acid Age went on stage. Like it was literally like flew out the thing, like, you know what I mean?
So you had it for sale last night at the launch.
Yeah.
Was that stressful for you? Because like, obviously it's in the fucking ether. You can always say, "Oh yeah, sure, it's due in," but like you're never fucking really sure. When did it arrive?
It arrived on. So Aiden works with like a print on demand company, and to be fair, they literally do such good work. Like the album cover itself, the color, everything just pops on it. It's unreal.
Give them a shout out, Grant. Who are they?
I have no idea. Like Aiden doesn't work for them, but he does like t-shirts and stuff in the.
I'll put the link if you send it on to me. I'll put the link on.
Yeah. It's on our big cartel, but like Aiden, he'd set up like a print on demand thing on with Asect, and then when we were talking about getting merch done, he was like, "I can do the same thing that I've done with Asect with Psykosis. Why would you just not do that?" And we were like, "Oh fuck, that makes sense."
Yeah.
So yeah.
So those two t-shirts, they'll be up on our big cartel soon, and he was actually only saying to us last night, we can get for an extra like 50 quid on this website, we can get like an extra 15 t-shirts, and so you save on money because it's print on demand. So you don't have like stacks and stacks of boxes in your house with like t-shirts that nobody's buying. It's literally like you buy it online and it just gets printed there and sent out to their house, and there's no like you know, you're making 50 stamps a day or whatever. But it's they look incredible. But I wasn't annoyed. I was just kind of like, oh fuck, like I wish we had more last night. But they sold.
People will buy them, Grant. It doesn't matter. They'll fucking pick them up, man.
Oh yeah.
I was surprised. I kind of agree with you. Like the print quality on them looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like the print quality is amazing. And I'm now like Richie. I remember I was chatting to you at a Siege one time, and you were wearing the Beat Season T-shirt, and you had kept the print on it like pristine. And I was like, I have my one the same like amount of time as you have yours. Like, and mine's been through the wash and it's like flaking away and it's all faded and shit. And I was like, what are you doing, man? And I guarantee you said to me, you're like, turn it inside out, cold wash.
There you go.
And I was like, oh okay, fair enough then. But like, but the print quality on these ones is top notch. It's top notch.
Class.
Unreal.
Cool. Okay, straight on to Mutant Mass. This is an old one. I'll give this a blast.
A really old one.
Is that the shortest track on the album? I think it is it?
I'd say so. That or General Ways.
That or General Ways,
They're about under 3 minutes, I think, aren't they?
No, less than 3.
Yeah, definitely that's two minutes something anyway, from what I can remember. Mutant Mass. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I think that's actually the fastest one, yeah. Okay, so Mutant Mass was Shane, Tony, and Jay in the band then?
Yeah, that was written in like I'm pretty sure that was
drunken
written...
night at a party, Grant.
No, I'm pretty sure that was I'm pretty sure that was written in 2013.
Fucking hell. Crazy.
Because I remember playing up in the Stiff Kitten up in Belfast, and that place is gone now. It's like a car park. But yeah, that's been around a while. We just never put it on the I think it was just late enough. Actually, no, I don't know why the fuck.
That would have qualified for Psycho Award, surely, would it?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, welcome to the Psycho Award. We did it in like 3 days, and it was nuts. I think it cost us €300, and it was just like
for a whole album.
Yeah,
a mix, master, backline, like everything involving that.
It was the first time Rats had done anything like that, you know.
Fucking
I think
Rats did it, yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah. So
what's
like
his
we're just
story now? Or where is he? Is he?
He's on tour with the Scratch.
Sorry, Grant?
He's on tour with the Scratch, the band The Scratch, around America and all, yeah.
Okay.
And even Tony was their tour bus driver for all the Canadian dates, I think.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
That's mad. Jesus Christ. So he did it for you. $300. Wow.
I'm pretty sure it was 300 quid, and that we did it all. Like it was just mad. Because we did it at the very top floor in the Pint, and we were just, drinking beers, drinking whiskey. But like I was like, oh, because it was the first time I recorded an album. Like we did the terror. What's it? A Toxic Terror Storm.
Terror Storm.
We did that. I was 16 maybe at the time or something. Then we did this, and I I was like, oh yeah, we're doing an album. So I was like, I have to get drunk for the vocals or whatever like that.
Oh
And
my God.
Tony was pissed as well. And you know him, he just kept on getting his Mickey out and all the rest like that. And it was just weird. Just
Oh,
weird.
Tony, if you listen to this, I'm so sorry.
Hey, Liam, imagine what you missed out on.
But yeah, no, so I don't even fucking know. Yeah. Jesus.
But the point is, Mutant Mass was 2013, like, was
I
it?
think so. I think so, yeah.
It's the same with General Waste. I think Mutant Mass and General Waste are kind of part of the same song, I guess.
Yeah. The General Waste. Do you remember a trash band called Exeltic?
No, funnily enough, Exeltic.
Yeah, dude. So that's a good friend. They're really good friends of ours. We used to live in a house together. If you can imagine, like, it was four of us. It was Psykosis and it was Exeltic living in a house, and we all played thrash metal, and we lived in this fucking like piece of shit house for like 4 years, and yeah, it was absolutely insane. But this band, we kind of had like a running joke. So they had a song called Devastator, and here I'll send you on the link to their YouTube. They're not a band anymore or anything like that.
Obviously, yeah.
They've moved on, but it's a great piece of music.
How far
Like,
did they get, Grant? Did they get to demo stage? Was it?
they did one EP, yeah. Oh no, they did two
Yeah.
EPs. One was called Higher Ground, and another one was
Higher Forces.
Higher Forces. Sorry,
Spell the fucking thing. Am I hearing you wrong? Spell it. What is it?
E
Exeltic.
EXZELTIC.
Never came across him. That's bizarre. That's the difference
Yeah.
between Cork and fucking Dublin now. Back in the day, it was probably MySpace, was it?
MySpace, fucking yeah. Like we used to always gig together. Oh, like when we went to Kildare.
Right.
Richie, if you find an Exeltic song called Agent of Chaos,
Oh yeah.
Man, I'm gonna go down a wormhole with this. Don't fucking
yeah,
worry,
you
Tom.
definitely are.
Yeah. That's just annoying me now that I never came across him. I'm glad now because of this interview that we
They were
give
one
a
of those
shout out.
old school they were like one of those old school like Irish like thrash metal bands that were just like they were sick for so long, and then like I guess they just kind of stopped.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Same with like Visceral. Do you remember Visceral Attack?
Yeah.
What a fucking band. Where they came up in conversation last night, and me and the lads were chatting about them in the green room and about how fucking good they were.
Yeah.
They were unbelievable.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I suppose Mass Hysteria would have been the biggest one.
Or Mass Extinction.
Or Mass Extinction, sorry, Mass Extinction.
Yeah, Mass Extinction. But yeah, Exeltic were a band like that. They were just they were fucking class.
I'm looking forward to that. Okay, we're going to play General Waste, and it's nice to give a shout out to the old school lads. Now that is got all the traits of an old school fucking song, because that section there just makes no sense. You know,
I know. And
it just makes no fucking sense. Like, but if you were into thrash in the 80s and maybe early 90s, no, I wouldn't even say early 90s. I would say early 80s. Bands are fucking carrying this shit off. Like, you know, a European fucking obscure trash band like Artillery or something like that would throw this fucking curveball out, you know.
You know, it's funny. I think I was telling Tom there last night. So that song, like we used to just write music. Like we had a song called Dr. Tank, and it was just and Exeltic had a song called Devastator, which was like this giant robot that fucking killed everyone. Dr. Tank was like I can't even remember. And then General Waste, like we just, I don't know, we just get drunk or stoned or whatever like that and make up these like characters, you know, and like
they wrote songs about basically my giant killer robot can fight your giant killer robot.
General Waste was like, this was when we were doing all the party stuff. It was like a general, like obviously the name came from a bin or whatever like that, but it was like a general. It was like an army general getting fused with a fucking like a tank, like a tank or something, and like just going around killing everybody. I'm pretty sure Shane Byrne drew a picture, and I was like, oh yeah, General Waste or whatever. But that last part, so we have like we used to have an ongoing like joke how we finished the song. It would be like dun 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 dun. Like it wouldn't finish. You'd always be catching the people out.
Yeah,
so you'd finish it, and then they'd be like, oh, is that the end? Should I clap? You know. So that end piece is like stemmed from that, and we just wrote like a fucking bit. We just kept on going with it. Dun dun dun. And
like some people would call that immature, but like if you like thrash metal music, you'll fucking get the humor behind it, you know.
But the part in the song where we all go ba 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 ba. So I remember when I joined the band originally, and I was like, "What's the story with that bit in General Waste where it's like ba 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 ba?" And Jay was like, "Oh yeah." So that was a point because the song wasn't written like that, and Jay was like, "Yeah, that was like a gig in London or like in Belfast or something where like me and Shane, like I think, or no, it was like Grant and Tony had forgotten to play like because the song is a dan 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 dan. But I guess the lads had fucked up on it, and Shane and Jay just went ba 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 ba, and like filled in for them. So that ended up becoming like the fucking thing that ended up being on the album.
The other thing as well is, I'm pretty sure Tony was saying before, he's just like, we don't fucking need a microphone or whatever like that, you know. He's just like, just sing it out, cut all the guitars, cut the drums, just belt it out and sing over, like, you know what I mean? Like you don't need any like amplification, just shout it out at the crowd. It comes across a lot like, I don't know, organic or something like that when you just cut everything and it's like bah, 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 and you're just hearing it for what it is, you know. But it's enjoy it. Like
so Liam, you had to record both of those songs, but were they kind of just fucking steady diet in rehearsals anyway?
Yeah, pretty much. I think Grant actually sent me them demos to learn when I joined the band back in like 2018. So like I've kind of been rehearsing them the whole time, you know, or even I've been warming up to them at home if we have a gig coming up just in case I pop up in the set and stuff like that. So they kind of burned into the brain. Like they're fairly quick to like lay down and track mix with them ones. I think they were like 1 or 2 takes each, maybe.
Yeah. And it's handy that they were so short as well, you know.
Yeah, they're quick and easy as well, but they're nice fucking fast ones as well. They get the crowd going for the pits and stuff like that. And that ending part that they picked out there is like one of the funnest parts to play live as well. Even though it's a bit random and weird, like it's just fun. There's a bit of a bop dance kind of thing to do with it.
Yeah, 100%. On to one of my favorite, another fucking firm favorite, Mind Games.
Yeah.
And the title track.
Here now I lie, my memories are
Got acoustic music. Ding, ding. No, you didn't. It's so easy, and I don't want to fucking throw out band names right through the album, just influences and stuff, but there's definitely one there that it's just like itching me. They're
Say
fairly
it.
fucking, what?
Say it.
Power Slave Iron Maiden, man.
Oh fuck. Okay, not what I was expecting.
Okay.
No.
Down, down, down. Tell me why.
So a lot of people have come to me after we played that song, and it's like, oh, it sounds like Surprise You're Dead, Fate No More. And I was like, yeah, I can see that as well.
Okay. No,
Yeah,
it's just
for the
that
drums,
melody,
the way that,
just
like no, I think more so when people say like Fate No More, it's like the way the drums go, like the staccato on the drums or whatever it is.
okay.
But yeah, Iron Maiden, I can see that as well. Yeah, for
Power
sure.
Slave, definitely Power
Yeah,
Slave, early
yeah,
Power Slave.
definitely.
This is a fucking track that just sums up Psychosis for where you are now at the moment. That how far you've developed as a group, and just technically wise, maturity wise, it's got everything really, lyrics, the actual composition of the track as well. There's a lot going on in it, but again, there's a fucking lovely flow to it. Do you want to take that one, Grant?
Yeah, so it's the lyrics, I fucking wish I had them out, dude, but yeah, it's basically about someone developing like Alzheimer's, dementia, and it's their process going through like piece by piece, verse by verse. It's them like slowly, losing their memory or recapping old memories at in time, and like confusion and things like that. It's also, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so like I have a music video idea set out, so hopefully we'll be getting that done soon. But so it flows from the start. It's like slipping away. My memories now begin to fade, wishing that you could stay. So like, I think these are probably the most complex lyrics I've written, like ever. And then the end, it's sort of like the insanitized thing. It kind of tells the story. And then at the end, it's like they're finally dying at peace, and that's what the album cover is like, them just about to cross over. But it's the last verse is what is it? What is this place? My final breath has left my face, an unfamiliar feeling of peace. Oh God, now wait. My soul is bound to walk these halls. I've become what lies beneath. So it's like they're like in a shit nursing home, being like treated like shit, and they think they're crossing over, but they actually are there forever because their spirits just are there forever or whatever like that. That's cooler in my head. I don't know.
No, but I mean, emotionally, to portray that as a singer.
Yeah.
Talk to me how you set yourself up for that.
So how do you mean, like writing the lyrics or singing it?
No, because I mean the lyrics obviously are what they are, you know what I mean? But as a frontman and as a singer, there has to be an emotional element to bring that across vocally. So, had you worked much on that, or did you just?
No, I just let it flow. Like the verse, like we've had that riff that because it's sort of like an offbeat, like with Tom's drum, like the rhythm is class. So I don't even know how I put lyrics over, because it's so confusing to play like an offbeat sort of.
I mean, I play it like the way I play that song. I play it straight. You know what I mean? But it sounds like it's like the drums and the guitar are kind of, they sound like they're slightly out.
Yeah,
but they're always like in time with each other, if that makes sense.
Rhythmically, they are
rhythmically,
there.
they're always in time.
Okay.
And the lyrics,
but they sound like they're slightly off.
Okay.
Like whatever, like between like anything I'm doing drum wise, I'm never hitting one drum at the same time as I'm hitting the other one.
Okay.
So it's like I'm playing kick drum and then I'm playing snare, but I'm interspersing it with hi-hat hits.
So where's Liam following there? Are you following?
I think are you following more guitar or are you following more me?
I'm doing a bit of both. I'm pretty much playing like the guitar riff, but I follow Tom. But like my thumb's still cramping from playing it last night because I just don't stop pretty much picking the whole way through the song. It's the same kind of tempo to kind of keep it going with the kick drums and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I'll try and lock in with Grant and Aiden and then keeping locked in with the kick drums as well, like, you know, that kind of way.
Yeah, I think the kick drum would be like the more kind of like how everyone knows where they're on. With beat wise, not necessarily where they are in the song, but like where the one is would be like that's where like the one would always be wherever the kick drum starts.
But yeah, no, as I was saying, the rhythm of the vocals as well, they don't tend to go with the guitar. Oh, no, do they? Maybe they do.
No, but you're more like and you're still playing the same riff.
Yeah.
The riff doesn't deviate from whatever it's doing, but the vocals kind of go in a weird like direction.
Yeah, but it's just the emotion, Tom, that he's able to portray. As playing the fucking guitar over it, you know what I mean? Because you fucking shout that across, but you can actually hear the emotion in the voice.
I do not envy him, man. Having to sing and play that shit at the same time is fuck that. No way, man. Like,
I think just out of all sort of like disease and stuff, I think that's like kind of the kind of the worst one. Like for me, I just think like you spend your whole life making memories and then they're gone within they literally just disappear.
And I mean that's a song I can relate to a lot because I lost my sister to cancer 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I dementia, so I know all about it.
Yeah. So I mean, like for me, like when you're talking about a song like that where it's like, slipping away, like my legs and arms, and I can't remember what the lyrics are, but one of our songs. But I had to watch someone I love fucking waste away over the course of 2 years. You know what I mean? So it's a pretty personal song for me as well because of like I can relate to it so much for subject matter. It doesn't necessarily have to be about like obviously it's about dementia, but if you're watching someone literally wither away before your fucking very eyes, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think as
well, like Chuck Schuldiner kind of writes about sort of those sort of topics in his songs.
Totally, man.
So like I don't think I took inspiration from him, but I can like I do love the fact that he does that because it's not necessarily like making a joke out of it or anything like that. It's like
exactly.
It's making awareness or something, you know what I mean? It's like
I think that it's cool. It's cool that you brought that up because that kind of goes back to when Richie asked us earlier about your solo for Hard Reset, and you threw in. I remember when you showed me that solo originally, and you said to me like you threw in a lot of like Eastern sounding scales, and like Death used a lot of those. Like I can't remember if they're like Phrygian or Aeolian or Lydian or whatever scales they are, but any scale that make you want to go like, like walk like the Egyptian sounding scales. But like the solos for Hard Reset has a lot of Death in it. Has a lot of Chuck Schuldiner in it as well.
Yeah, makes sense.
Even the chorus for Mind Games has that
yeah, same thing.
Unconsciously doing it, man.
I know.
Well, Death were only the greatest band to ever live, so
I'm gonna fucking argue with this.
Damn right, no one in this group anyway.
Yeah, fact. On to the last song, Hive Mind Hysteria again. Fucking magnificent beast of a song. Let's give it a listen. Once again, every fucking classic thrash album has a siren running through it. And the lads have ticked that box. Thank you very much. An incredible song to finish the album. Again, this is new Psykosis we're listening to now. This is the new direction, and I fucking love it. Who wants to talk? Or Liam, we'll give you fucking heads up on this one, man. Talk to me when you first heard Hive Mind Hysteria, when the boys brought it to you.
Hive Mind is probably my favourite song on the album, I have to say. Like, like maybe 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, we kind of started working on that riff, was it maybe? We only like kind of finalized it like in the last year. And then we kind of put it all together like this year. But yeah, it's my favourite song on the album to play, I think. And like Grant's vocals on this one, they're a bit lower compared to a lot of the other songs, and then they kick in the higher vocals for the Hive Mind Hysteria part. And I think that gives a bit more like impact in it, and like you can see people in the crowd kind of get caught by that. Yeah. And it's always class to see people's jaws drop when you see Tom at the very end of that song with a little drum solo.
Yeah.
You just see people kind of light up in the crowd when that happens. Like,
yeah, brilliant. It's an ideal closer, lads. Well chosen. Well chosen.
We actually close our.
There's a closer in the set as well.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, what was the particular feeling that sparked that song, Grant?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I can't even remember writing it, to be honest. It was over the course of like a couple of months or something like that. But it was the start, like all the sirens and stuff like that. I think it just kind of stemmed from like the Dublin riots after that happened.
Okay.
And we were like, yeah, that'd be a fucking banger to write about. It's more so as well the Hive Mind Hysteria. It's just kind of like everybody jumping on an idea without necessarily knowing what that idea is about. Yeah. So like,
it's a great title, actually. Yeah.
Jumping on like a hype train, or whatever it is.
But how a riot would incite when people just see people looting buildings and all, and they're like, fuck it, yeah, I'm gonna jump in on this, and then everybody's just doing the same thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, so fucking yeah, that's probably my favorite on the album. Mind Games and Hive Mind. They're just super fun, and yeah, so, like yeah, it's deadly.
So the fact you mentioned Mind Games and Hive Mind. So which track hits you hardest now, emotionally and sonically? So emotionally emotionally Mind Games, and then sonically Hive Mind Hysteria.
Absolutely, yeah.
Throw it to you, Tom.
Emotionally, probably Mind Games, to be honest, because I can kind of relate to that song in terms of like lyricism. I can relate to it a lot because of my sister passing away a couple of years ago, and just the lyrical content itself. Sonically, I mean, it can be that can go one or two ways. It can either be sonically what sounds great live, or sonically what sounds great on the album. Sonically, I think
on the album,
I think I don't know. Probably Hive Mind, to be honest. I mean, like it's such, it's that song. It really ebbs and flows nicely. It's not my favorite song on the album. My favorite song on the album is Boiling Point, but that's purely from a place of like loving playing it live.
Yeah.
And loving the song in general. I fucking love that song. Everything about that song rules. The riff, the drums, the bass, vocals, lyrics, everything. And that's not to the discredit of any of the other songs. It really isn't. It's just my preference. My preference is Boiling Point.
But sonically, Hive Mind Hysteria.
Sonically, Hive Mind just sounds so huge. And Mind Games as well, to be honest. But I think Mind Games, it's nice that we have a song that sounds so different. It's not the usual kind of stuff that we would do. Which is
on the album.
Yeah, it's probably the slowest track we have, other than Terror 3 AM.
Yeah.
I think Terror 3 AM is in and around the same kind of tempo, but Mind Games is such a different.
But Grant, you wouldn't fucking wrote Mind Games 5 years ago, like.
I wouldn't have.
No, I don't think you would have.
Probably,
It's
but I don't think any of us would have.
yeah, it's a progression where you are as a musician. That's
Yeah, yeah,
where you are at
definitely.
the moment, like, you know.
And like, hilariously, there's actually, I mean, there's a couple of songs that were on this album session that got scrapped. So I don't think you ever heard Into the Unknown or
No.
like Brainwashed, or they're old. This is like old school songs that we were playing, but like these songs haven't seen the light of day in a long time.
Yeah, they would have
So
been
these are like,
written. They would have been written in between
yeah,
insanitized, toss of the dogs, and then it would have been
Yeah.
like brainwashed into the unknown. I'm pretty sure that we recorded that for Mind Game.
I have an Into the Unknown recorded. I have
Was
a fucking
Brainwashed on a fucking set list? Did you play that live a few times? No,
we
that
played
in
Brainwashed a couple of times.
I fucking come across that song live with G. I'm nearly fucking sure I have.
I think we might have stolen a riff from Brainwashed and put it in Mind Games.
Which one?
Did we?
No,
No, we didn't. No, maybe we didn't.
no.
Okay, Liam.
But Brainwashed was kind of the same kind of like, it had that 6/8 kind of feel to it drum wise, and it was in the same sort of tempo.
They might fucking make an appearance again on album number 3.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Liam, emotionally and sonically, we're on about the album. Give me the 2 tracks.
2 tracks. I'd have to like probably flip a coin between Boiling Point and Hive Mind. They have kind of like similar context and lyrics and stuff like that, and they're both like balls to the wall, aggressive, fast, thrash metal songs.
Yeah.
Every time we play them, the crowd goes fucking nuts for them as well. Like, and they're like fucking wearing bits at the end of them, and the crowd are kind of sitting there sweaty, kind of waiting to see what happens next as well, like in that kind of way.
Yeah.
But between them two, they're probably my favorite ones to listen to and play along to. Like.
Class. So, like, I mean, you know, I just.
What's your favorite, Richie?
Oh, for emotionally, Mind Games all day fucking long, and a toss up between Insanitize and Boiling Point, for
Nice.
sonically, yeah. I can't fucking, I'd judge it live to see which one would come out better now, because we all are familiar with the album, you know. Because a lot of that stuff went over my head and Fred's. I was just enjoying it for what it was, you know what I mean? But
Right.
fucking knowing the songs now, I'm literally fucking frothing just to fucking see him live, you know what I mean? So, you know, because you can feedback then to you and sing it back to you and whatever.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But I will say I fucked up my neck so bad for Violence and Exorder.
Oh man, I was raging I missed that. I was in
I'm glad
California.
you're fucking not playing anything down in Cork in the next few weeks, because I'm actually coming back to normal now. That was insane. So moving forward, lads, there will have to be a video for this album. I hope there will be anyway. I don't know where you are with it, but
Hopefully.
you're gonna say yes, yeah?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like we hopefully in the next like few weeks, to be honest, because a friend of mine's just back now and he's frothing at the mouth to get an album out, and he's a really good videographer, like, you know what I mean? He does a lot of kind of short films and stuff like that. So
nice.
It kind of works out perfect for if we want to capture Mind Games in the same sort of sense of like the kind of vision that I have for it.
Okay.
And then another one for Hive Mind Hysteria as well would be cool. But definitely for Mind Games. Like I actually wrote that and had that vision in my head of, you know, how it would look and all. And when I said it to him, he was like, let's fucking do it. That sounds unreal.
Class.
So Richie, it was either we do that or we go full Metallica and don't do a video until album number 4.
Fuck off, Tom. You're going doing a video. This album demands a video. This could be your one, literally.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go.
And how bad an inspiration as well if it was black and white, Grant, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Terrible.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there, you know what I mean? So that's it. Just your plans moving forward. Priority video. Upcoming tours will be more than welcome down Munster side of things if you decide to come our way. it'll be well received. I'd love
I
to
think
see
we've gotten the hint, Grant. I think Richie wants us to come down to Cork at some point.
Yeah, yeah. I'm fucked for holidays this year, lads, so I'll give you my shit schedule instead so you can fucking work around that. I'd love to see you on Siege, actually. Be a welcome return.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
that's on the cards. Hopefully,
Yeah, please
hopefully that's
God,
on the
yeah.
cards.
Yeah. So congratulations again on my favorite album of the year so far. Again, I just say with respect to all that's been released so far, but this album is face melting. It's the album I wanted Psykosis to make, and if you haven't listened to it, you're fucking missing out. So Grant, Tom, and Liam, and shout out to Aidan as well. Thank you, lads, and congratulations on a fucking excellent album. Well done.
Cheers,
Thanks,
Richie.
Richie.
Appreciate it, man.
So that's it, and everybody check out Psykosis on their socials. We never got to the fucking reason why you're not on Bandcamp, but
Oh, we are on Bandcamp. We just we got kind of lazy with that and didn't put the album up on Bandcamp.
it is coming up that way though, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Can I not go on Big Cartel?
it's on Big Cartel. Look, I'll put the links anyway on the
Yeah.
fucking story underneath, and so yeah, crucially, support your local metal scene.